Welcome to Saint Michel. I probably should not have been spinning for so long, but I wanted it to be spinning when the video started, so I was really ready for that. Okay, hold on, I gotta spin the other way for a second because that was really not a good idea. I'm a little dizzy now. Hold on. Equilibrium. We'll count it as equilibrium. Hey, there's already a like, even though nobody's in here according to YouTube, because YouTube has no idea what's going on. We're in Palais Saint Michel. The reason that we're walking around in the Latin Quarter tonight is because my patrons wanted me to. The $3 and up level of my patrons is monument visits. And we've kind of been doing live streams because those are kind of fun, and so they get to choose where I go for a stroll. And so for the next 30 or so minutes, notification squad, that was quick. Hey Hazel, Anira, I think. Anyways, we're gonna walk around through the Latin Quarter. I'm gonna give it a very loose wander. Natalie and Steve, glad you guys are in here. Caleb as well. I have kind of an idea of where we're gonna go. I have no idea how much we're gonna get interrupted or what else is gonna happen. Behind me, what I was gonna show you guys is the Fountain of St. Michael. So this is Palais Saint Michel here in Paris, named after the Archangel Michael. In the French tradition, they call him Saint Michael. I don't know why, but that's just a cultural difference, I suppose. Also, I'm not Catholic, so I don't actually know what it constitutes being a saint or not, but apparently being the Archangel qualifies you, so that's good. How's it going, Anne? Anne, Michael, Anna, Michael, good to see you guys. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna wander a little bit. I'll tell you guys a couple stories as I go. I'm also not as familiar with the left bank as possible, so what's up, Michael? This one's named after you. This is not gonna be the bestest tour ever. The other three options we had tonight I had way more stories and information about, but everybody was way more interested in the left bank. So here we go. If you're curious about it, we're gonna have to wait at the light here anyways. The left and the right bank, the way that you know when you're in Paris is based on the way that the river is flowing. So over here, behind me here, are the islands. You have the Palais de Justice there, I think? No, I don't know, I can't do this backwards so easily. The Palais de Justice is behind me as well as the Prefecture de Police. I think I got that right. And between those two, they're on the island. As the river flows, if you're on the left bank or the right bank heading downstream, that's how you decide what is left or right bank. Took me years to figure that out. I still have to think about it every time because north and south make way more sense to me, but that's just me and my Anglophone ways, I'm sure. Hey Nicole, how's it going? And Caleb is back. So, what we'll do, we'll see how much interaction we get as I try not to trip and fall and splat my face going. You can see Gilbert Jeune over here has got some serious lights going on still for Christmas. They're always on the ball. They own a lot of real estate down here for whatever reason. Very popular. What we're gonna do now is we're actually gonna walk into kind of a very touristy feeling, but foodie area just off of Palais Saint Michel. As we get past the bus here. Buses. The 96 bus is my mortal enemy. Watch out for that guy. All right. How's it going? Motorcycle guy. I don't remember. Sorry. VF. I can't read the whole thing as I go. So, this area, I'm gonna turn the camera around for a minute if it'll let me. If I don't totally drop and break my phone. Is a really fun area where you can actually come and get food from kind of all over the world. We've got some gyros over here, kebabs I'm sure. There's some Asian stuff. I don't know actually what that is for sure. I've eaten at that pizza place down there on Christmas before. It's actually not that cold. It's pretty warm here right now. That pizza place, I ate there on Christmas Day one time with two friends. I don't know if that's sad or not, but we did that. There's, you gotta have a sad Christmas every once in a while. Over here, more bookstores. These guys used to sell a really good crepe. I think they probably still do, but I used to tell, they had a blue awning, and that's how I used to tell people to find it. So now we all know it's a brown awning. That has been changed. Go for a little stroll through here. You see guys selling stuff on the side here. If you really want to buy a cheesy souvenir, you're going to be more than welcome to do so. But you can see lots of kebab options down here actually. Haagen-Dazs. This is actually a really fun area just to walk through and find stuff. Now, like 5 years ago when I first lived here, it's the only place I could find good Mexican food in the entire city. That is changing, obviously. There are some great places around, but I'll show you where that Mexican place is. I can't vouch for it anymore because it's been a long time since I've eaten there. I don't know if they're good or not anymore. But when you're desperate, and that kind of informs everything. Your clubs over here. I'm missing some comments, sorry, because we were looking the other way. So we've got our Christmassy Santa here. There's a lot of fondue places down here too. And hats, lots of hats. The left bank and right. The Eiffel Tower is on the left bank, if that helps. The south bank is the left bank, if that helps too. Okay, tons of food down here. We're at kind of a crossroads, and right down here on the right is that Mexican place. Just down there where you see that cheesy flashing pizza sign. There's a Mexican restaurant down there that's actually pretty good. I've had it a couple times. It's tasty. I like it. I liked it, I should say. It's been a long time. So desperation causes a number of things to, you know, taste a lot better than they actually do. Mexican food here, definitely one of them. Definitely one of them. Okay, so you get the idea. There's lots of food around, lots of kebabs. I'm actually surprised by how many kebabs. And specialty française. Look at this place. Get your fondue on there. I don't know that fondue's really, it's not definitely not a Parisian thing, but if you want to get fondue while you're here, go nuts. Much more of an Alpine thing. Same with raclette. It's winter. If you want to have a real Alpine treat with some severely stinky cheese, raclette is a great option. And it's one of those meals you build for yourself as you go. So that's always a lot of fun. Highly, highly recommended. You guys will have to let me know if I get photobombed at all in the process of this, because I won't be editing it, so I won't know. Okay, we will cheat a little bit. Here's Notre Dame for you. Get a little Notre Dame going. It's very nice, next to the Petit Pont. Now, my plan is to scooch across here when the opportunity arises. I'm gonna show you guys Shakespeare & Company. Fantastic bookstore. Actually, a nice little cafe as well. Oh yeah, tourists didn't mean to just stop like that. We'll go check that out. And then we're gonna swing up, well, south. Feels like we're swinging up though, as we go. I'll switch this to selfie cam so you can see what you guys are saying. Hold on. Notre Dame, and right across, there's all these restaurants. These are our fairly touristy. You're gonna, you know, get what you get, I suppose. But over here is Shakespeare & Company, which is a really fun bookstore. Dun, 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 dun. Bonsoir. Okay, so Shakespeare & Company, great bookstore. You're not allowed to film inside, even though maybe I have once or twice. It's pretty awesome. And then they've got a cafe over here with some really good coffee as well. So if you want to come here, check this out. If you want to come here, get your coffee, sit right here, and then your view is this. That's not bad. I'd take that. I definitely take that. Okay, we're gonna go this way. I don't know where this is gonna lead us. Oh, I do know where we are. We're gonna keep exploring. We'll see how last we get together. Hold on. Switching this around. Yeah, the little park here is really nice. It's really like the one that's over here you're talking about. Not so nice right now because it's dark and spooky. Right next to a church, which makes it feel like a graveyard, but yes. Oh yeah, it's a great spot, great view. And they do have really tasty coffee, so definitely recommend hitting up Shakespeare & Company. So, motorcycle dude, because we're friends. And you don't make moves on friends? I don't know, it's kind of inappropriate. But I've seen your question, and hopefully that answers it. Oh, this looks turned around. Hold on, I'll show you guys. We got some, oh, Pantheon. Abort. Okay, we're not going that way. This church though, I don't know the name of this church. It's a very, very cool old church right up the street. So we will just angle around this way. We're gonna make our way towards the Pantheon. That's my plan. That was a spoiler. I hope that wasn't too spoilery. Now, the reason that it's possibly a dangerous spoiler is because maybe I get lost on the way. I'm like 95% sure I know how to get there. But like I said, I don't spend any time on the left bank. With the exception of when, okay, so when I was doing the bike tours this summer, where they meet, they may be changing this, so keep your eyes open, but where they meet is actually on the island right in front of Notre Dame. So there's a statue of Charlemagne, they meet in front of that, and then disperse from there. When things are going well during the summer, you would go to Versailles by taking RERC, you jump on it right across the river from Notre Dame, and then, you know, you just hop on and go. It's really easy. There's a month every summer where RERC goes down. Peak tourist season, they take the train down in Paris, and so you have to catch RERC outside of Paris, and this is the route we take to do it, by walking over here, jumping on line 10, and then letting that take us outside of Paris where you get on line C. Can't do anything about this, sorry. We'll be right back. If you haven't, wow, this selfie cam, that helped? Ooh, that did help a lot. If you haven't hit the little like button yet, we're back. Whoops. Sorry about that. Apparently the YouTube app crashed. Now what I was trying to say was, every time we do a live stream, we try to break the record for the most likes in a live stream video. So far the record is 40. So if you want to hit that little like button, see if we can break that record. See if I missed any comments. What's up, Rob? Dun, 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 dun. I do prefer the right bank in general. I just spend a lot more time there The nightlife and so forth, I feel like, is generally better. It's one of those things that this very much divides people in Paris, whether you're a right bank person or a left bank person. Not hey tulip, not in like a violent way, but definitely will elicit some very strong opinions as to what, are you a left bank person or a right bank person? I do love the Latin Quarter and Saint-Germain. Saint-Germain's over there. We might end up over there in a little bit. So there are good areas over here that I like for sure, but there's not as many interesting areas over here, I don't think, as on the right bank. I do live on the right bank, but I live in the most boring part of the right bank. So, it's kind of hypocritical for me to say, but there you have it. Sketchy places in Paris. Just avoid train stations late at night, big train stations, especially Gare du Nord. There are a couple of areas like that are a little sketchy. But Paris by and large is pretty safe, although this will be the one time I get mugged live on YouTube live streaming, so now that I've said that, be prepared. Da-da-da-da. Oh yeah, good to see you, Norma Jean. Oh, the stream stays up, so boring is safe. No, I'm not boring in that kind of way. I'm not talking about like everybody goes out and has like a good old-fashioned knife fight to start the evening. I just mean boring in the sense of like no nightlife, really nothing going on, like just kind of quiet and calm, which I guess is kind of safe, but maybe it's just luring you into a false sense of security so that you can get mugged when you're not looking the other way. Watch out. Oh yeah, hit that like button. Thanks, Natalie. Appreciate the pump there. See if we can, we're close actually. We're at 37 likes already. We're gonna blow that whole like record out of the water really quickly. Ooh, still have some Christmas lights here. Give you a look at that as we cross the street. It's nice with white sprinkly things falling down. Could be worse. Oh, nicely done on the double likes there. Oh yeah, the dinner at Melt, Debbie, was amazing. Amazing. Oh yeah, we're at 43. Boom, new record. If I could put confetti over that, I would. But there's no editing capability here right now, so. Actually, I tried to, I love Mimi. But she's really hard to work around because she's really cute and I just want to play with her. Also, she kind of literally climbs on me, so I tried to work outside of the apartment all day today. I went back and I played with her some, fed her, all that good stuff. Memes is great, don't worry, she's fine. But she's also hard to resist. So you gotta set boundaries. It worked out okay. I got most of my editing done already, so I don't feel like I'm gonna die anytime soon, at least. Thanks for the likes, guys. That's good. Now, I don't know what this is where my lack of knowledge really shows through. We're walking, I believe, among the Sorbonne right now. Sorbonne 1. You see this really cool tower up here? It's very dark, not very well lit. This is a really cool area. Boy, do you need to keep up with the vlogs. Are you missing out or what? This area is beautiful, also very well kept, and there are a couple of things up here that I really do like. So let's not go knocking the left bank too much. Good, I think it's the Sorbonne. Pretty sure, but maybe we can find a sign around here somewhere, I'm sure. Now, where we're gonna be going, Dionysus. How's it going, Dionysus? Is hopefully to the left fairly soon. It's quite the hill that we've walked up so far. You can see, it looks like one of the towers of Notre Dame behind us, which is promising. It's not really a secret. I'm definitely not running right now. Oh, there you go. Mons Sorbonne, that's the founder. I actually was gonna do a lot more research for this, and guess whose life has been kind of crazy lately. So what we're gonna do, not mine, somebody else's, somebody else that we're referring to in complete confidence. So what we're gonna do, turn left up here. I'll give you a little bit of a preview of where we're going. Boop. Turn this around. Oh, there were special effects I think I could have thrown on. Dang it. That gives you a nice idea of just how nice and pretty it is. This camera is significantly better. It's gorgeous. And nothing's going on. Zero. See what's down here. Whew. It's a lot of plastering going on now. Ooh, okay. Now the question is about reveals. I think we're gonna do the reveal over here. It's a really fun area over here too called Odeon. It does have some nice nightlife. There is some fun stuff over here, even though I just got done ripping the left for its lack of nightlife. There's some cool stuff over at Odeon. And that used to be like my go-to movie theater for a short while before I found just how many were closer to me and stopped going there. But that's another thing I'm looking forward to. One of the things you may not know about France, which is wonderful, is that they have unlimited movie subscriptions. So you can go to a movie theater and you can pay like 20-ish euros a month, maybe less, and get access to unlimited movies in the theater. Hold on, you guys. It's almost reveal time. Are you ready? I didn't know there were Christmas trees here. Da-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. The Pantheon. Not bad, huh? Vote for skipping. Could skip. Special effects we can try to figure out too. And of course the Eiffel Tower is over here as well. Can I zoom? I can. Wow, too much. There you go. Not bad. Okay, so let's check this out. I'll give you guys a view of this because I'm sure you're more interested in it than me. Ooh, and then we're going to discuss something else once we get up to it. Better beautifully lit. Oh, still zoomed in. Jiminy Christmas. Are the movies in French or English? Most movies here are in their original language, so mostly in English with French subtitles, which is amazing. As somebody who, you know, is sort of obsessed with English. Okay, I don't think I missed anything else there. Paris is charming at night. I love this place. And yeah, Shaylee, the camera is doing all right. So far, so good. Yep, we're going to the church behind it as well. It's my favorite church. I'd give it my third favorite church. Would be how I rank it. What's up, Teresa? All right, we're about to cross the street and hopefully not die. Dying is not what we're into tonight. You can see. So there's some really cool things. The mayor's office of the 6th is over here, I believe. 5th. Yeah, sorry, we're in the 5th. Derp. So there's the mayor's office of the 5th. And the Pantheon. Okay, a little story about the Pantheon. Ooh, look at those pretty lights. Getting a nice little reveal here. So the Pantheon was the tallest building in Paris until they built the Eiffel Tower. So this used to be the tallest building in Paris. Pantheon, of course, means, you know, like all the gods. But since they're not Greek, they're French, they put all of their gods in here. They're very, you know, agnostic, atheist, so to speak. So they, what's the word I'm looking for? Not that. Laïque in French. It means when you don't have religion in, you know, whatever. Okay, so anyways, all of the gods of French culture are here. So Voltaire is here, Rousseau is here. Lots of names you know. I think Curie, Madame Curie, you know, Curie's here. Not Madame Curie, excuse me, whatever. Anyways, all of those greats, those French greats are here, buried within this. Now, this used to be a church. It's been a church twice, I believe. Originally, it was supposed to be the church to St. Genevieve. They never consecrated it, took it back from the church, made it a temple of reason, probably. I don't actually know if it was officially a temple of reason or not. We're getting into some French Revolution history, but they've gone back and forth a couple times. You can imagine being the priest here, not knowing for sure if you'd ever have a place to call your own. And then eventually settled on it just being a pantheon to the greatest in French culture. It is amazing inside. It is unfortunately closed, but it's really worth a visit on the inside. So I'm trying to do this at a time where most of you are awake. So that was kind of the key. That's why we're doing this at night. It's also nice to travel around at night. But when you go in there, what's his name? There's a guy who actually proved the rotation of the Earth by hanging, I think it's like a 67 meter long pendulum from the dome, and it's usually up, except for when I go in because they always shut it down for construction, which sucks. But that is where his pendulum swings, and you can check it out and prove to yourself that the Earth is in fact rotating. And if you're a flat earther, I'm sorry, but yeah, this is just yet another piece of evidence against that. Yeah. So that's a little bit about the Pantheon. Huge. Beautiful, and overshadowing possibly the coolest church in the entire city, which very few people tend to know about, which is back here to the left. So if you go to the left, sorry, I couldn't see your guys' comments. I'll get caught up here. If you go to the left of the Pantheon and you swing down, secular, that was the word I was looking for, secular, thank you. You can see the Church of St. Genevieve back here. So that's the church that they made for St. Genevieve when they decided not to keep this one for her. A little bit of a downgrade, but a very cool church. We'll talk about it here in a second. This over here is the library that I accidentally got a library card at once without realizing I was getting a library card. I kind of applied for a library card because I was meeting a friend here and wound up going through the whole process, wondering like, what the heck am I doing? And by the end, yeah, I had a library card. I need to renew it at some point, but it's a beautiful library on the inside. I mean, just imagine Harry Potter without the magic, and there's That's basically all the imagery you need in your head. Now, ooh, I don't know what this tower is on the right. So maybe we'll go explore that. Whoa, 51 likes, you guys. This is insanity. I don't know where this is coming from. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over to the Church of St. Genevieve here. Now, the reason that this is my favorite church in the city yeah, I'm live. They're laughing at me. So, the reason that this church is my favorite church in the city, with the exception of Notre Dame and Sacre-Cœur, because I do believe those deserve to be the top two, is because this is built intentionally asymmetrically, right? You have this, not only do you have this tower on the left, with no matching tower on the right, but if we can go far enough over to the side, we will see that in the back towers are also asymmetrical, and intentionally so. Might be hard to see from this angle though. But if you get back around, we'll see if we can see it, but if you get back around, you'll see one of them is topped, like this guy right here. Imagine there are two of those in the back here. One of them has something round on top, the other one is pointy, like domes and pyramids, which makes a big difference. And it's really, I think, really freaking cool. So let's swing around here. As I swing around here, also the Bombardiers over here. I went there with Holly in one of my vlogs. If you guys want like an English pub, that is not a bad one to go to. Doesn't have any microbrews as far as I remember, but still has some good beer, I think. Yay, live stream. Okay, going back. Linda Foucault? What are you asking about? Oh yeah, here we go. Oh, there you go. Okay, trying to see. Sorry, we're way behind on the comments. I have no idea what anybody's talking about. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, right. You're talking about humans being equal and stuff. Yes. Secular was just the word I was looking for on that one. But the French Republic is pretty spectacular in a number of ways. So there you go. I wish we go inside now. Okay, so here's the other thing. We can't go inside this guy, obviously, because it's closed as well. And this one is never as open. I have a hard time getting into this for whatever reason. I think my timing is just terrible. But the Church of St. Genevieve is also one of my favorites, not only because it's asymmetrical on the outside, but on the inside, when you walk in, there's a nice the colonnade feels very much like a forest. There's a path that weaves between the columns up high. And I would love to walk along that path someday. Catholic Church, if you're listening, hook me up. But aside from that, if you walk in, it really feels like you're walking in a forest. It's just a very kind of close, well, I don't know, it's just a very beautiful church. I really, really like it. Also, the relics of St. Genevieve are in here, relics, because during the Revolution, they dug up her bones, burned them, and dumped them in the river. Not too far from here. So there's a relic box, and there's a slab that her bones rested on. So you can go check out her bone dust, I guess. You're really feeling up to it. Genevieve's bone dust, anybody? Genevieve's bone dust. How's it going, guys? Just trying to okay. Live streams are fun. If you guys want, you know, this is the patron reward. If the more Patreon grows, the more of this kind of stuff is gonna happen, because guess who will have more time on his hands? me. Oh, we want to go this way, we don't want to go that way. So there's, you know, some interesting streets over there, but we only have so much time before my battery burns out or YouTube kicks us out again, which hopefully doesn't happen. So let's go this way. I'm gonna go ahead and kick this around. It's not cold. No, it's actually really warm. I actually kind of want to. I have my jacket unzipped. Kind of unzipped somewhere here. If Jody's watching, she tried to pay me to strip once. So, you know, if you guys want to start super chatting me money, I might start taking stuff off. We're going to see how close to, oh gosh, hopefully the wind isn't terrible. We're going to go see how close to the Jardin de Luxembourg we can get. The Luxembourg Gardens are amazing. Whew. I feel so liberated and so much cooler now. I am wearing the World Tour t-shirt as well. I've been wearing it for the last couple days because laundry and stuff. You guys will see that in the vlog, I'm sure. So, oh, here we go. Here's a nice view of Notre Dame as we go down the street here. There we go. And this one is sponsored by everybody basically $3 and up. Is who's sponsored this. So there's actually a chunk of people, and thank them indeed. Thank you, patrons. I love my patrons. Amazing group of people. So, oh, this is really pretty actually. If we look at the front, I wish I could take photos right now. This is killing me that I can't take photos. But you can see the mayor's office of the 5th over there, all decked up in its Christmas lights. It's so charming. If you guys haven't hit the like button yet, we've already set the record, so maybe I'll stop asking you to hit the like button because it's gonna get nuts, but give it a try. What's up, Robbie? Yeah, I know. Can't really do much about the audio right now. Sorry. Working on it. I'm trying to hold this in a way that blocks more wind, but I really can't. I can't even hear what you guys are hearing, unfortunately, so hopefully that helps the way I'm holding it right now. It is pretty warm in Paris. It's like, boy, I don't even know. Celsius? It's been in the 50s in Fahrenheit, so what, in the high teens in Celsius? Somebody else feel free to go ahead and translate that for me. See, our resident Swede has arrived with an LOL in there. Yeah, Michael, I do at some point want to become a French citizen. I want to be dual. I obviously will always be American, but having dual citizenship would be amazing for a long list of reasons. Fantastically long list of reasons. So the hope is that I can do both. But I have to be allowed to stay here long term first, which is still up in the air. I'll be going into the prefecture. It's not fun. Soon, next week maybe. I'm kind of on my own schedule on that one for this because it's a long story. I'll probably share it this week, but I'll go in, we'll see if they at least give me an extension on the temporary stay that I currently have. And then from there, oh, the wind came back right when I wanted to give my arm a break. Go back to this. What's up, Jose? 14 Celsius, mid-teens. Dang it, I was so close. Yeah, definitely warmer than Montreal. I can tell you that much right now. So yeah, long story short, yes, I do want to get my dual citizenship, but I have to pay taxes here for 5 years, which means I have to be legal to pay taxes here for 5 years, which is actually the hard part. Getting your visa and sticking around for 5 years is the tricky part. Once you've done that, citizenship isn't, I mean, it's not a walk in the park, but comparably, it's gonna be easier, so. Yay, prefecture, alrighty. Yeah, everybody's favorite subject. Okay, I've gotta see, there's gotta be a way I can do this with my left hand. Is the wind okay now, if I do this? Yeah, it's way colder there too. Oh man, nice and warm here, loving it. I love how obsessed with weather you guys are right now. Of all the things, what street am I on? I'm on Rue Soufflot. Rue Soufflot. So Soufflot is the one that leads straight up to the Pantheon and then down to the Jardin de Luxembourg, which are going to be dark. And I have a feeling we won't be able to see much, but we'll give it a try. Good, I'm glad that the wind is doing okay. Helps that the wind has actually died down some too, but we're working on it. We have, according to what I'm seeing, 57, oh now 56 people in. We bored somebody, but do make sure to hit those like buttons because we're gonna set the bar really, really high for future live streams at this rate. 57, this is both great and terrible. All right, I'm sure there's some good Japanese restaurants around here, yeah, for sure. I do love some good Japanese. I don't know why I said it that way, but it feels like singing is worth singing. Emerino is a chain, but their gelato is also fairly good. So if you're here and you want to get gelato, Emerino is tasty. They'll make a gelato flour for you. That's tasty. 61. Oh man, this is ridiculous. Okay, so yeah, 62 now. It hasn't updated there for me. Make a video in French. I do need to do more videos in French. Yeah, it's really quiet. It's not that much of a student area anymore. It's more bougie. Like students don't really live here as much as they used to. They commute in, I think, more than they actually live in this neighborhood, which is one of the tragedies of gentrification here. We're gonna go check out that display over there is the plan. Video dissecting the ins and outs of getting my French citizenship. I would love to make that video. I'm kind of waiting until I have my residency established before I get too much. Hi Zero Girl, thanks for loving it. I'm trying to get into, well basically what I want to make sure that my status here is secured before I go talking about the strategies I'm implementing to secure said status. Not that any of it's sketchy, but you just feel paranoid about it, and so why jinx it? Or run the risk of them being like, we don't like you for some reason, and blah, blah, blah. So, not that they're watching my YouTube, but just on the off chance, we're just gonna wait till that's handled. There are a couple things right now where I'm just waiting for things to be handled before I talk about them, just to be safe. So that's kind of where that's coming from. Where do the students live now? All over, who knows? With their parents? A lot of them? Outside of that, I don't know. Oh good, I'm glad you're coming to Paris, Nicola. Hope it's a fun time. All right, look at this. All right, so here we go. There was a McDonald's back there. Tragedy. Looks like the Museum of Luxembourg has Ruban on. Oh, he's a fantastic oil painter. If I recall correctly, he's a wonderful I mean, I wouldn't want to look like either of those people, but I have a feeling that wasn't the painter's fault. Here's the Gardens of Luxembourg. Just to give you an idea, it is locked up for the night. One of my favorite gardens in the city. Not as big as it used to be, but right by the Palais de Luxembourg. This was built by Catherine Medici, or Catherine, however you want to say it. She was the one that built it right after Francois I started the Louvre. She also built the Tuileries. She built a lot of stuff around here. She was very prolific, and she stands to prove that if you're running out of money and you need to keep building stuff, marry your banker, because that is a winning strategy. And there you go, look at that guy. Glad you love him, Tammy, thank you. So you can see, I don't even know what all of this is actually. These are nice though, I like these. We're going for visual. I'm not gonna make you guys read stuff, but looks like they're talking about the Constitution there, talking about the welcoming room to what looks like the president's offices. I don't even know what's going on. What's wrong? I'm annoying the locals. Alrighty, I guess I am a local, but you know, I'm a very non-local local sometimes. These are nice. They a lot of times will put up displays like this, not only here, but on mayor's offices and other places where they explain what the government is doing, or they highlight kind of the public, where public finances are going through art or through photography. It's always actually fairly nice. The Jardin de Luxembourg that you can see is pretty stinking massive. Yeah, it goes on for a long ways. And on the other side, there's actually tennis courts and all kinds of great stuff. So I would love to go see the Senate. I've never seen it though. As far as pickpocketing goes, it's nothing to be particularly scared of. It's more something to be aware of. So the way pickpocketing works here, since we've got a ways to walk around the garden here, hopefully I don't get pickpocketed as an example, but the way pickpocketing generally works here is that they run a scam to distract you. So either they bump into you on the metro, or they, there are certain groups of people that you'll see going around with like really phony surveys, big maps that they'll kind of shove in your face. And they can be pretty aggressive. And what they're doing is they're just trying to get your attention long enough and distracted enough that their buddy, usually, sometimes them, that their buddy can gank something out of your purse, snag your wallet, your phone, whatever is easiest to grab. So just want to be aware, and you want to keep hands free. They will often target people whose hands are full because they can't do anything about it. So if you're carrying food in both hands and all of a sudden people come up to you and start like demanding your attention in a really uncomfortable way, get out, or put your waffle in their face and run, you know, whatever you got to do. But that's kind of, pickpocketing is not something to be scared of, it's just something to be aware of. It happens. I know people who've gotten pickpocketed along the way. Mugging is a possibility as well, which is why you do want to stay away from really dark, big open areas like parks and stuff, or those train stations we were talking about earlier. I have a friend who did unfortunately get mugged on the Champ de Mars, but it was like 3 in the morning. It wasn't the brightest of times. I think it was like 3 a.m. They'd been drinking, and it was 2 women by themselves. And as much as I hate to say this, women, you've got to be, unfortunately, you have to be a little bit more aware than your male counterparts, because we have a privilege in that people don't mess with us as much as they could. So I don't know why I'm dancing around this, but ladies, be careful. But overall, Paris is very safe. I don't have a problem. I'm walking around with my phone out like this, and people are looking at me and laughing and smiling. Nobody's trying to mug me yet. See what happens. I'm making jokes about that, but really I'm not worried about it. If I were worried about it, I wouldn't be doing this. So anyways, this is the Palais de Luxembourg over here. Boom, boom. We've made it almost all the way around. There's a really cool fountain over here too. I will leave that to your imaginations, and you can discover it on your own when you get here. Now, my goal is actually to move over to Saint-Germain, because I'm sure a lot of you are very interested in like Café Flore and the Church of Saint-Germain and Saint-Germain-des-Prés, and yeah, we'll just see if the battery lasts that long. We'll also see if we can't find, near Odeon, there's the oldest, kind of bill it as the oldest street in the city. There's some really interesting stuff down here, which if you come on a bike tour with me this summer, assuming I'm doing any bike tours, I will show you in detail, because there's a lot of cool stuff to see. Kind of want to cross the street. We're gonna wait for this limo to go by though, carrying a prom date, I'm guessing. There's no prom here, so that's, odds are bad. And then here's the average person's limo. It's the limo that I take more regularly. Not that regularly though, because I don't like buses very much. I don't like buses at all, to be honest. I really don't like buses. We're not gonna get into that. We're not gonna get into that. That's not what we're talking about right now. You can see our Christmas trees are back in action here. Voila. I have a very bad connection going right now, so excuse that if there's any problems. If I knew exactly where Rue Ferrou was from here, I'd give it a try, but I unfortunately don't have a map in my head that's that good on this area. Like I said, left bank, Jay does not know as well as the right bank. We're working on it though. This is a good impetus to get it figured out. I don't know why I did impetus like that, but there you have it. Okay, we got a long stretch here. I'm gonna dive into the comments, see what you guys are saying, and we'll go from there. Going back in time, Judge Jones. Well, being larger by and large is a privilege. It's not something that you did yourself. So that would be my argument there. I didn't choose to be larger, just happened to be larger. I'm just going back to make sure I didn't miss any pointers or questions. We talked about pickpocketing for a long time there. I'm humming to keep your attention for just a second. So let's see. Just looking for another like good inspiration from what you guys are actually curious about. Otherwise, I can talk a little bit more about Paris itself, because we're not gonna have patience for this forever. Oh, they tried to pick you out. Yeah, you gotta watch out for pickpockets everywhere. Galerie Lafayette is no exception. And people near Galerie Lafayette have a lot of money. Here's the thing about Galerie Lafayette. If you go in there, you can find a phone. Well, the phone's not so much, but a watch that's worth more than your house. So if you're going around shopping for watches that are worth more than houses, that's prime pickpocketing real estate. Just putting that out there. Be extra safe. I mean, really, they're not looking in deep, dark alleys to pick bums' pockets, right? They're looking to pick pockets of rich people that can afford to buy watches that are worth more than Ferraris. All right. Hannah, what time is it here right now? I don't know. 10:03, now I know. I think there are some Space Invaders not too far from here too. And if I don't have them already, it's gonna be really frustrating because I won't be able to get them. And then I'll have to come back. Okay. Oh, we're at 68 likes. We lost a like apparently because it says 69. What are my plans for New Year's and where am I at right now? Okay, well, my plans for New Year's are fairly straightforward. Dinner with a friend. And then I think that's going to turn into a party after the dinner. It's like a small dinner party of only a few people. And then she's invited more people to come over for the party afterwards. That's my plan. I'm also going to be handing responsibility for Mimi over that evening to somebody else who you guys probably know. Well, if you follow Cheryl, you probably know her. But if not, probably don't. So, you know, whatever. So, yeah, my plan is to basically do that. I don't really have any exciting plans. I really, actually, more than anything right now, just want to sleep. It's kind of like my number one dream at the moment for evening plans. I am currently in, oh, there's the Moose. I'm currently in, still basically the Latin Quarter. Oh yeah, actually, okay, so there's some other stuff we could explore here. There's a Canadian bar over here. But you can check out if you ever want to watch American football while you're in Paris. It's great for that. That was a really dramatic zoom. And we're gonna go up here. This part of the city is actually a little bit older as well than the right bank. Not all of it, and I'm not an expert on exactly where these lines get drawn. However, the city was largely overhauled by Napoleon III under an architect and city planner by the name of Haussmann, Austrian guy, who came in. The reason being that they wanted to quell a series of riots and many rebellions that were going on. The French, believe it or not, have undergone a long series of rebellions, some effective, some not so much. Mostly not effective, some of them very bloody. But it got to the point where they were having some serious troubles because if you've seen Les Miserables or anything along those lines, you've seen just how feisty things get when the streets are narrow and windy and you can't get in there very easily to fight rebels. They're able to throw up a barricade very easily, hide behind it, pick off troops, and stay there for a long time. So it gives you quite the advantage when you've got your home field advantage, home turf, you know what I mean? So what he did was he brought in Haussmann, Napoleon III, brought in Haussmann. He's the guy that finished the Louvre as well, Napoleon. So that's the Louvre. We'll talk about the Louvre some other time because you guys didn't want to talk about the Louvre tonight. But he brought in Haussmann. Haussmann knocked over a whole bunch of buildings. And his theory was, and this worked, was basically, well, let's just mow down a bunch of buildings, we'll build new ones, and we'll make nice long straight streets so that cavalry and cannons can get right up in there and break anything up that happens to crop up in the middle of whatever. So that was how they handled it. It worked fairly well. There were a lot of problems that came out of it. Tuberculosis, for example, ran rampant through the city for a while. Just waiting for those guys. Tuberculosis was a huge problem during that period, among others, but you know, they didn't really care. They were on their way to progress, and that gave us the Paris that we know today. Apple Store, in case anybody needed to find the Apple Store. Boom, boom. I don't, because I don't use Apple products, but that's just me. So that's a little bit about how Paris, when we talk about Haussmannian architecture, like this stuff right here looks very Haussmannian, with the wrought iron terraces, I guess you'd say. I'm not barriers, barricades, banisters. Ooh, that's windy. You know, and just kind of the style of these buildings is what we refer to as Haussmannian. That's the dude who designed those. Well, gave it kind of the sense. He didn't design all these buildings uniquely or individually, but he gave us the style that would end up dominating a lot of the city. So Paris is only really like 150 years old when you look at it that way, because so much of it was rebuilt after it got knocked down. My neighborhood, as you guys might have noticed, is very Haussmannian. Lots of Haussmannian architecture that came around 50 years after even Haussmann was done. But there you go. Here's Saint-Germain-des-Prés. It is not cold. Oh, colder in January? Well, theoretically, I suppose. So here we go with the Christmas market over here. Apparently there was a little Christmas market here. See, we're finding all these things just by walking around. The ones that I knew about weren't here. The ones I didn't know about were here. Missing out. Absolutely missing out. You're gonna see Diderot here, sitting on his chair, hanging out, eating some jerky. He's not eating jerky, that's a quill, but it looks like he's eating jerky. And then Saint-Germain-des-Prés, which right across from that is Les Deux Magots. And Les Deux Magots is that famous cafe, right, where the post-World War writers hung out and wrote a bunch. Pretty sure that's right. I'm suffering a couple of minor brain farts here tonight, so feel free to correct me in the comments if you want. They'll disappear when it's over. It's tragic. Wish they'd keep the comments. So, from Les Deux Magots, what I want to do is walk back towards Odeon. We might have to do that over by the river though. How's it going? There you go, there's the photo bomb. We were waiting for that to happen this whole time. So look at that. Yeah, the two maggots. Great spot. Hi. New fans everywhere you go, see? I'm from, I live here, but I'm from America. Where are you guys from? China? Well, welcome. Where in China?
Beijing.
Beijing? Yeah. Awesome, good. A place I know. I was going to say.
For your family or for your Instagram friends?
So, YouTube.
YouTube?
Yep.
Okay.
It's on YouTube. So, go on live.
For your friends.
Bye, guys. Should we go across? Have a nice time in Paris. Aw, that was nice. Making friends everywhere we go. So, oh, here's where you can get some really terrible short, what am I looking for? Churros. Usually. Oh, no churros right now, just pre-made waffles. That's kind of sad. Ah, here's the churro stand. It's closed. What's up, Blake? Yeah, so the Deux Magots. Okay, we'll go give the Deux Magots a look if I can squeeze through here. Ta-da-da. Whatever indeed. All right. Here we go. This is a really fun spot. I've only been in it a couple times, but it's actually really nice. Oh, and there's Tour Montparnasse in the distance. Whoa, way too blurry. There you go, nice and Christmassy. Les Deux Magots. And a giant panda bear just kind of chewing away on a spike, as pandas are known to do. Wow, we're up to 70 likes. You guys are killing me. We're never gonna get this high again. This is insanity. Okay, so there's our panda spike with the church behind it. Trying to get some decent shots in here. Just because it's a live stream doesn't mean we can't get some good shots like this. We'll rotate, a little bit of object orientation. Whoosh. All the way around, all the way around. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. We can't speed it up, but we can track it. And we're gone. Some nice Christmas lights. Well, I wish I would have known that this market was here. Christmas markets. I've been telling people, I don't know if any Christmas markets are open, and I didn't. Now I know, and my ignorance has come back to haunt me. Just that quickly. All right, there's a one screen cinema right there. Now, if you want to stick with me, we're gonna do one last thing, but I gotta find it from here. I'm a little bit turned around. Not the Ferrari, it's not what we were looking for. But if you were dying to see a black Ferrari just parked out on the street for no good reason, not a bad place to park it, I suppose, if you're gonna park it on a street. we are gonna make our way over towards, oh no we're not. I cut in too early. Well, we'll take a right here and we'll see if we can find it. Like I said, I'm a little more easily turned around over here because I never spend any time over here. But there's a lot of good stuff over here. I think has lots of shopping, excuse me, art, like the Académie des Beaux-Arts over here. So the Fine Arts Academy is over here and the region around that, or the area around that. Tons of good art. So Saint-Germain, it's this way. We just went by the church, but this neighborhood is named after the church. You can already see we're walking by some decent art here. I'm gonna take this off soon because I'm getting toasty. Talking to you guys is a lot of work, turns out. So, we go right here. While we go right, I will check and see what I missed on the commentary. Glad you're enjoying the live stream. It's not hard to get an Uber here ever. I mean, unless, you know, you have a massive event of some sort. It's not bad. Yeah, Paris is pretty much the only place I'd want to live in France, by and large. It's more because I'm a city person than it is a function of the other cities in France, and because it's a really small country. I mean, it's as big as it comes in Europe, but it's not hard to get around when you're here. Hello from Australia, Andrew and Ken, both of you. Okay, let me know if I missed anything else that I should have caught, but I wasn't looking at comments for a really long time. As I see you guys, there are some squiddies up here. There's two squiddies. Two squiddies? One squiddy, two squiddy. Dos squidillos. I'm pretty sure it's a Spanish guy putting, I'm just kidding. I have no idea who's putting those up. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me, what? I don't know if I should speak English or French at this point when I cross paths with people, but either way. French. Should have been speaking French. So, my goal is to get us to, what is it, the Avenue des Anciens Comédies, right? It's not far from here. Give it a try. But this is a really nice, beautiful street. This is one thing that I do love about the left bank, is you do have a lot of these nice little narrow, quaint streets, which are really fun. But again, really quiet, which isn't a problem. Oh, wind. Hopefully that's not too bad. It's not a problem, it's just, I don't know. I like it a little noisier, I guess. Except when you're really trying to sleep and you're sick or something like that. But aside from that, all right, we're getting close. We're getting very close. I know exactly where we are again. He said with too much confidence. Beers Invader. Oh yeah, there are some Beers Invaders around. Please don't tell me you saw that and I didn't. Like, if you guys spot a Space Invader that I don't see because I'm too busy talking to you, that will be another tragedy for another day. Well, no, for today. It'll be a tragedy today, literally. I have plans to make this way faster, by the way, that we'll get into eventually. Just not yet. Oh, these X's, so here's a squiddy for you. I know exactly where we are. A little gray squiddy. These X's and O's are all over the city. Whoa, sorry about that. Psychedelic twisting. There's an orange squiddy just over here too. This is not where we were going, but I'm gonna show you the orange squiddy as well, because it's actually one of my favorite squiddies in the city. Did not intend for that to rhyme. So, just right up here. Okay, right there. Here's my favorite. If you're allowed to have favorites among squiddies, that would be it. Gray one over here is not bad. I'll show you another couple Space Invaders around here too. Oh, okay. Really want to go that way? Maybe we'll go that way here in a second. Because there's also a Captain America squiddy. That's pretty awesome. So I'm gonna have to go back and check it out. It's been a while since I've been over here, actually. This is your Pac-Man Ghost Space Invader right here. Pac-Man Ghost. Look at that. I don't know who paints the X's and O's, unfortunately, but they do take a lot of work. I didn't used to like them, but then I took a moment to kind of see like just how much work they put into that. And now I respect it a lot more. I still don't like them a lot, but I respect them for how much work they put into making those X's and O's. They are everywhere, and there's some huge ones. Well, especially on your way out of Paris, like on your way to Champagne on the train, you see some giant ones out of Gare de l'Est. Pretty crazy. Okay, so there's some really fun food down here. We're in Saint-Germain right now. Some really, really fun food. We're about to walk back into the Latin Quarter. We left the Latin Quarter. Sorry, I hope you guys can forgive me for that. But some good, like, new wave foods, which are good. Oh yeah, Space Invader hunting. We could go on like on a full-fledged Space Invader live hunt. A live Space Invader hunt. Would that interest you? Let's talk about it. Okay, so Bussy. We're on Rue de Bussy here. This is a stop on the bike tour, so I'm not going to tell you all the story. Oh, Space Invader. Mwah. And a squiddy right there. All right. Sorry for all the twisting around here. Now, this is a stop. Ooh, the Smith's Bakery is a really good bakery. Good choice, everybody. The Smith's is a really good bakery. New Wave Bakery. But since this street is a stop on the tour, I'm not going to tell you too many, like all the stories that we would say here, because you should come on a bike tour. You get those? Oh, excusez-moi. Pardon. Oh, non, c'est à moi. Non, non, c'est en live stream on YouTube. Yeah. Okay, so there was a really good little bakery here that closed. Oh, that's new. What the heck that is? All right. So there are a couple Space Invaders over here that I'll show you. A little bit of music for you. If you guys were wondering where I took those live streams of music on Sunday mornings, that was the spot, just in case you wanted to know. Rue de Bussy, lots of good food. Well, there's some good food. No, there's lots of good food. We'll just leave it lots of good food. But we'll go around here. I don't know why I'm editorializing the food selection. That seems really rude. Over here, another spot that you've seen a lot of times in my vlog, coming down here, is the oldest street in the city. There are a couple of interesting things down here. Again, I'm not going to tell you all of the secrets, because you have to come on a bike tour to find out all of the secrets. But there's one story I'll tell. I'm trying to decide which story to tell. There's something really, really old down here that I will not be telling you about. But here's this. Voila! It's a really fun street. It looks and feels very much like how Paris used to feel back before Osman came in and wrecked everything. So it gives you a good sense. Now, if you go down there, there's some very, very cool things to see. Two in particular. Those two things that you'd actually see by going down there are the two things I'm not going to tell you about, because you got to come to Paris and see them for yourself. But I will tell you that Guillotine lived on this street. Dr. Guillotine, the man himself. I'm sure you know what he was famous for. Now, the weird thing about Guillotine is... Ça va? Ouais, ça va bien. That's the guy that he always works there. I actually know that guy. I know like half the people that work on this street. The Dr. Guillotine, I'd see, this is a question that I have. I don't know how this works. Because supposedly Guillotine developed the guillotine as a humane way of amputating limbs, right? Like during war, somebody has gangrene, whatever, cut it off really quickly. It's a humane way of getting rid of it instead of like sawing it off. The question is, when you amputate something, you have to leave enough skin to fold back over the stump, right? Seal that up. How do you do that with a guillotine? I don't understand. I still don't understand. I need to look up some diagrams or something, but if any of you are that morbid and know the answer, please feel free to link me to the answers. Probably not in the live stream because these comments will disappear, but somewhere, eventually. All right, we're gonna go. I have one more idea. I see comments. Cauterize? Are you gonna cauterize an entire stump though? Like you cut through my bicep, you're gonna cauterize that? Really? Can you do that? Ugh, that doesn't sound humane at all. That sounds terrible. The skin flap. It's the missing key for me. I need to know how that works. Otherwise, Guillotine's invention will forever be... Oh no, it already actually attained a very inhumane status. Never mind, that has nothing to do with me. It just is. Okay, so there's some art galleries around here. Nice. The restaurants, bars, people standing outside of bars. Hopefully getting into bars. I don't know, they don't look very hopeful. We'll find out eventually. But I've got two more things I'm gonna show you guys. Intentionally. See what happens unintentionally, because I know there is some street art on this street somewhere. Been a while since I've been down here though too. This is not on the route, on the bike tour route, just so you know. I'm gonna turn this around as we walk and investigate the comment situation. 75 likes, you say? I see 74. Hopefully 75 comes around. I know a fair amount about Paris. It's true. I don't know if I know more than natives, but there you go. What? Pour alcohol on it and use a dirty towel? Savages. Hope that's not what you... If I ever need my arm cut off, I don't want you in charge of it. Who was that said that? James. You're not cutting my limbs off. Okay. I know that some people go that route. I'm going to avoid the route that I know most of the guides take. I take a different route than most of the guides. But I'm going to avoid the route that they take too, just because it seems appropriate not to show you all the secrets. And there's actually a lot. I mean, obviously we're walking on foot. The tour is 4 hours by bike, 3 to 4 hours by bike. So you'll see way more than I'm showing you, but you're getting kind of a flavor of what my tour would be like if you're on my tour. But we've also gone and seen a bunch of stuff that's not on the tour. Like the Pantheon's not on the tour, the Sorbonne's not on the tour, you know, talk about some of that stuff, but taking on the tour. Oh, wait, oh, that's very green. It's not street art. I mean, it could be street art. What? As far as bike tours this summer, maybe a couple for fun, but I don't imagine I'm going to be doing it all summer again like I did this summer. And yes, please do find out more about the guillotine situation because it doesn't make any sense to me at all. Now, normally this would feel sketchy, but this is a safe neighborhood, so not worried about it. Well, nowhere's ever truly safe. Brr. That's what the fearmongers would say. Brr. Gotta be careful all the time. Carry weapons. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so a little bit of light. This right here is the Académie Française. Now, the Académie Française 81 likes dear goodness. You guys are insane. Yeah, that's true. The last time the guillotine was used in France was 1977, which a lot of people don't know. Capital punishment was outlawed then, and then in the EU was outlawed in 82, I think. So the last time the guillotine was used was not within my lifetime, but within my parents' lifetime, which is crazy because you think guillotine, like nobody's used that in forever. Nope, they use it. All right, so here's the Académie Française. Not sure if they've taken the scaffolding down or not because it's been a while since I've been here. Oh, we're gonna get to see a special Space Invader too. I was gonna actually dodge this one for this time, but since we're here, I can't very well in good conscience not tell you about it, can I? I mean, I could not tell you about it. That seems like a terrible waste. Oh, that breeze feels amazing. You guys have no idea just how hot I am. Sorry if the wind is killing you, but it's making me feel so good right now. Whew. Toasty night in Paris. Okay, they definitely do have a lot of work going on over here still, but the goal, oh, there's a guy playing a violin. We're gonna very quietly and respectfully go by him, and then we're gonna check out. I'm gonna give him a coin too, and then we're gonna go by the Space Invader. Bonsoir, monsieur. Very nice. Okay, so this is one of those Space Invaders that you will never notice. Probably, I mean, it's quite the promise to make. It's from Bubble Bobble, and it's made out of Rubik's Cubes. Rubik's Cubes! And all of the squiddies are covered up by that monstrosity, so that's not happening. But, yeah, ooh, I wonder if we can go through the Academy right now. I don't think so. Let's find out. Yes, we can. Totes can. There's a lot of scaffolding going on over here, which is why we're not going that way. But we will go this way, because guess what's on the other side? The Louvre! There you go, Spokane. Yeah, you shouldn't compare Paris to Spokane. It's a really bad idea. So here's the Académie Française. Beautiful structure. This is where they decide what is and is not French. So, if you have ever picked up a French dictionary and learned any French, these are the guys that approved whatever the word selection was, the grammar, all of it. They're located in this building right here. So if you've ever been mad at somebody for teaching you French, blame these guys. The rules don't make sense and the exceptions make less. These are the ones to blame, for sure. So, that's the Académie Française across this bridge, which is the Pont des Arts, so the Bridge of the Arts, which is a fantastic bridge that you all know, even though you might not recognize it right now, is the Louvre. The Louvre is the single largest building in France, which is insane. No, James, they changed the language more than every 100 years, but it does feel like 100 years every once in a while. They're very slow. So, the Louvre's over here, Académie Française behind me, and then behind me over here is Pont Neuf. And Pont Neuf is the oldest bridge in the city, despite the name translating to the New Bridge. It is not new whatsoever. Henry IV built this? Pretty sure Henry IV. It's also the longest bridge in the city, and is covered in the faces of all sorts of horrifying looking kings, demons, that kind of stuff. Actually not 100% sure. Yeah, and that's what I was going to say, Tori. That's why when I said you might not recognize this bridge, it's because when the fad was going through that you would lock your love, like these right here, it used to be all along here. But it was something like 30 extra metric tons of metal, a lot of extra metal. So rather than let that pull the bridge down, they cut them all off and then replaced this with plexiglass So now you can't chain stuff here anymore. But there you go. And that's correct, Aileen. Pont Neuf was the first bridge. The reason it's called the New Bridge isn't because it's the newest bridge, but it's because the first of its kind, the first of its style, which was that it didn't have buildings on top of it. Because you can only trust schmucks with cooking fires on top of your infrastructure so many times before you stop trusting them, which is a wise decision to stop at some point. But in the distance, you can see the Eiffel Tower, of course, as well, down there. And then if we were to cross that bridge, there's a Space Invader over there. There's also, two, now that I think about it. Or just one? Just two. No, the other one's over here. But the Louvre, this portion, I think it was the south portion that was constructed before Napoleon III, and he constructed the north portion. This section back here looks very different as well. So there's a little bit of a difference in the architecture from there to here. This section back here is actually, was built by Louis XIV, which is why you see a whole bunch of double L's on everything. It's because Louis XIV built this before he got bored and was like, I'm going to Versailles. Like, forget this is lame, and left. So this, until then, this was his construction project. And one of the interesting things to remember, if you ever come to the Louvre, not only is it massive, like, if you were to line up all the buildings end to end and just walk straight through it, like unfold all the courtyards, line up everything end to end, I think it would stretch about 8 miles long, which is really long. Not only that, but then while you're walking through it, it's interesting to remember that it's not a facade. Like, they didn't fancy it up to be a museum. It's just really freaking fancy because this was the royal palace for a while. We'll talk more about that some other time if you guys want me to walk around the Louvre. But you can see how we could spend a whole evening just walking around the Louvre pretty easily. That, I think, might be the end of our live stream tour. I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to flip it around so you can see boats going by. Check to see if there are any comments I missed that I shouldn't have missed. Whoops. Not going to block that person because that's not what I intended to do at all. The lock ramp page was pretty crazy when it was a thing. All right. There we go. Cool. Well, thank you guys so much. Flip this around so I can see what's going on. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for this live stream. If you're interested in voting on what I do a live stream of next, please head over to Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jay Swanson. Join Patreon, become a patron. If you're at the $3 level or up, you'll get to vote the next time we have a poll like this. And we'll wander around. I have some ideas how to make it even more interesting and more fun and fast. So thank you guys so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed Paris. I love this city. I love sharing this city. We'll do this again. Don't worry. So good night, and I'll see you tomorrow morning for my vlog. It'll be uploaded and ready to roll 11:30 a.m. Paris time. Good night. Now I just got to figure out how to end it. I think this is how.